Welcome back to Casual Watch Review channel. I think I've become a bit of an unofficial spokesperson or reviewer for the team over at IFL Watches because we have another watch in for review today. If you're not familiar with IFL, they take off-the-shelf watches. We've seen G-Shocks and Citizens, but they do go right up to Oris. They take these off-the-shelf watches, disassemble them, and then hand paint the dial. So they have some really skilled artists that hand paint each of these dials. They're always limited production run watches, but they're still in an accessible price range. It's not like years ago where to get a highly painted dial like on a Jaeger Cultra or whatever you had to pay tens and tens of thousands. They've made these watches really accessible. Them along with the dial artist as well, who also does similar work. But they've kindly included me in this new launch today, which is the Space Dunk. And they've used a Timex, a Quartz Timex Q as the base model for this watch. I know these divide opinion. There's some that love them, like me. I do think they're cool. And then there's others that, you know, you have a different opinion, but all opinions encouraged and welcome in the comment section down below. So let's dive straight into it. Here we have the IFL Timex Q. This really is a great blend of the unique design of the Timex Q watch and then the elements, the contemporary artistry that has really been enhanced by IFL's custom hand-painted dial, as we can see here. So let's break down the details. The watch features a quartz GMT movement with an office GMT function, making it useful for tracking a second time zone, ideal for those who conduct business across different time zones. The dial layout only supports 2 time zones, the main 3 hands here, and then the GMT hand, and then the bezel to record the second time zone. There's no third time zone here where there's additional 24-hour markings on the dial, so it doesn't allow for any other tracking, any third time zone tracking. The case is a 38mm brushed and polished stainless steel case, giving the watch a versatile look, I'd say, at only 12.5mm thick and with a 44.2mm from lug to lug measurement. It has a solid wrist presence without being too bulky, probably ideal for smaller wrists as well. Thanks to the hidden lug design here, the watch articulates very nicely on the wrist. Here you can see it in some shots on my 7.2-inch wrist. The case, as we can see, has a geometric shape with the polishing up the top and then a brushing along the side here where it meets the bracelet that also has brushing and polished elements. The 18mm bracelet, it is stylish with solid links and then a pin adjustment system, but the clasp is a bit of a letdown. Pressed clasp doesn't have any micro adjustment or any on-the-fly adjustment, which is a bit disappointing given the overall solid feel of the rest of the bracelet. And another point on the bracelet, if you are someone that has hairy wrists like me, beware, this is a hair puller, certainly on my werewolf wrists. As a watch reviewer who doesn't shave his arms for the sake of the art, I've definitely experienced firsthand this pulling of the hairs on my wrist. The watch hands really suit the design. I'm not crazy about Timex's take on the Mercedes hands, but again, that's just personal preference. The minute hand goes all the way to the outer minute track, so 10 out of 10 from me, and the nice pop of red on the GMT hand really suits the overall design. The lume is okay for a watch like this. It's not amazing, but it's okay. The watch features a unidirectional bezel, but this is free moving. It is not ratcheted, so it's similar functionality to a slide rule bezel. This is a preference-based feature, but something to note, as for the crystal, it's acrylic. I guess the marketing would pitch the acrylic crystal as a vintage aesthetic. In fact, I can't see any positive reasons for including it over a mineral crystal or a sapphire. Personally, I think acrylic is far less about nostalgia and more about budget. Though some collectors may enjoy this look, for me, outside of the Speedmaster, where it's historically accurate to have an acrylic crystal, this just feels cheap on any other watch. But feel free to share your thoughts in the comments, unless you work for the brand Laurier. The water resistance on here is 50 meters, so don't expect to do any deep diving in this. There's no screw down crown here, so it's more of a splash, maybe shower-proof friendly design. So let's jump into the star of the show, and that is this IFL custom dial. It's hand painted, again, to a very high standard like the other IFL watches that we've reviewed on the channel. This edition really doesn't disappoint when compared to those others. The dial features an astronaut dunking a planet through a ring, and thanks to IFL's brief, we know the symbolism behind this. It's to symbolize the courage to face life's challenges and turning difficult moments into personal victories. The intricate dial work is of a very high standard, with great care taken around the indices. There is a little paint overspill on the Timex logo and then the quartz wording at the bottom here, but given the complexity of the painting, such as the narrow lines that they've used here, I won't dock any points for the fact that there's a little slight bleed over on some of the text. Because of the way that this dial features an entire galaxy of multicolored stars as well as the astronaut, each watch is going to be unique. You're really getting not only a custom painted dial but a real one-of-a-kind watch, because each of these stars are applied using a process that isn't easy to repeat to the exact same pattern every single time. It really is another stunning hand-painted dial using acrylic paints on very vibrant colors. The astronaut, I think, is done to quite a nice anatomical painting, and then the shading around the ring and the planet that the astronaut is dunking, I think, is also really adds a nice pop of color and a nice visual interest of the dial. This watch is released today and it's going to retail for €790. This is a very similar pricing to the last couple of Citizen editions that we've seen, and I feel that because of the watch that they've used here, although it is a solid Timex watch, I think it offers a bit less value than those Citizen watches, and overall that Citizen Soyosa really is a much better feeling quality watch. This is a Timex watch at the end of the day. If you've ever handled a Timex watch, the standard one of these is $229, and you certainly get what you pay for with a Timex watch. You're not getting a watch that is $229 and punches well above its weight in terms of fit and finish. They are what they are. If you've ever handled a Timex watch, you know exactly what I mean. I don't think I'm saying anything controversial here. So this is a release today, again another limited edition, so if you do like the look of this, then head on over to their website now. This is a great opportunity to get a custom hand-painted dial for quite a reasonable price. More importantly, what did you think of the IFL watch? Love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you're new to the channel, love it if you subscribe and hit that thumbs up and then the bell notification, and I'll see you next time on Casual Watch Reviews.